Hi, my name is Marty Major with FLIR Security's TCX Training Department. We're here today to talk about updating camera firmware. Now we do it in our FLIR DNA program, our Discovery Network Assistant, which you can see I have open here. Now currently in my system I have my two aerial cameras, which you can see right here. Indicated by those two blue lines, and you can see that their firmware, which is listed right here, are both at the current version 1.05.32. However, you can see I have two other cameras here. These are my two my Quasar cameras. And my Quasar cameras, you can see, don't have the same firmware. This is the current firmware for this camera. But this one right here is showing transition, which means I think I made a mistake in trying to update this one. So we're going to go back and just update one. Now, because these are the same exact camera models, I could highlight both of them and then simply click on my firmware button and it'll take me to that. And I could update as many as of the same type of cameras that I wanted to simply by using my control or shift keys like we do in any Windows operation. But for right now, you can see this one already currently has the correct updated firmware. This one does not, however. So let's come down to this megapixel camera we've got right here, a Quasar 1, and if we right click that, or if we come up to the firmware button, either way does the same thing. Notice if I right click, most of these options that I have buttons up here for come up. And if I go to the firmware update, all I need to do is have that correct file right here. And I do. If I browse and go to my desktop, I believe we'll see it right towards the bottom. And you can see it right here. This is the current firmware file, so I simply hit open and then I click update. Now keep in mind, it would list all of the cameras listed in here. If I had to say I'm adding 50 cameras and they're all the same model, I would simply highlight them all in the list up at the top up here and do exactly the same function that we did already. So you can see right now it does take a little while to upload. Once it uploads, it does apply it or install it, and then it reboots the camera itself. So that does take a couple of minutes, and we're going to go into the future once this completes and see how it actually gets done. Bam! We just went into the future about 2.5 minutes. It started to reboot right at about here in the green line indicator as I was slowly going forward. And I was trying to catch it while it was rebooting so you could see it actually update to the OK section. And you can tell right down here if there are any issues with one or many of the cameras when you're updating the file itself. It would actually let you know the good ones and the bad ones. And once I close this, now you can see that this Quasar camera now shares the same and most updated version of the firmware for that particular camera. For further FLIR security training, go to FLIR.com, then Products and Security. From the Security page, you would come to Support and then Training. On the training page, we have it divided currently between in-person training and online training. The in-person training includes certification classes in Latitude and many of our thermal technologies. The online training includes upcoming security webinars, which you see up here on the left, and recorded webinars, which of course continues to grow as we do the current webinars. But over on the right-hand side, you'll see our online training video library where we cover a number of different things in our repertoire. If we go to Latitude, you can see we have a series of Latitude training videos like this one that you just listened to, and we are adding to this list, and it is growing fast.